Introducing our number one Channel 7 news crew, the lovely Lisa Tran. Now for our on-scene guy, Kyle Chan. And our number one news anchorman, Harvard Folk. From Studio 1AB, Harvard Folk and Lisa Tran with our top stories of the day.
Good evening, San Francisco.
We report to you today of a very tragic disease that's sweeping all four corners of the globe. This disease, as we know it, is called HIV, a virus that can lead to AIDS, a condition in humans in which the immune system begins to fail, leading to life-threatening opportunistic infections. Although Africa has the highest incidence rate of HIV, China has the fastest growing rate of new HIV infections. Currently, China has one of the largest populations in the world. Unfortunately, due to lack of education and awareness, Chinese citizens have a major obstacle to overcome. Chow Young Slim, reporting from China, has a more in-depth look of the situation.
Considering the world's population is approximately 6.6 billion people, China's population makes up at least 20% of the world's population, with a staggering figure of approximately 1.2 billion people reported as of 2007. In the same year, it was also reported that the birth rate was 12.09 per 1,000 population, which is 15.89 million births, and the death rate was about 6.81 per 1,000 populations, which is 8.95 million deaths, with an average life expectancy rate of approximately 71 years old. It is also predicted that the population will continue to increase to about 1.5 billion people within the next 30 years, which further exceeds the rate of death in the nations. This poses a great dilemma in providing enough jobs and good opportunity to the public, especially to the 20% of the population that are unable to read and write. Within the large population, there are several different ethnic groups that can be distinguished. There are the Mongols, the Zong, the Manchu, and the most abundant of them all, the Han Chinese. The Han Chinese are 92% of the population, which are the descendants of the people who settled in the northern and central China more than 5,000 years ago. There are several different languages that are spoken in the country, such as Cantonese, Wu, and Mandarin, which is the standard language of the nation. Then there are four major types of religion that are presented in China, and they are Taoism, Buddhism, and Muslim, and the Christian religion. However, Buddhism has become the more widely accepted religion in China, and is estimated to 50 to 80% of the nation's population to be followers of the religion. Currently, China is having an economic boom, but continues to have low per capita income due to 60% of the nation's population suffering under poverty. There has been many downsides to the economic boom that China is having. Many health hazards are rising as byproducts of economic development, urbanization, and environmental damage, and an explosion in motor vehicle use to result in an increase in prevalence of chronic disease risk factors such as HIV.
Now reporting live from China is Kyle Chan with world-renowned doctor, Dr. Feelgood, who is researching HIV.
Hi, I'm here today with Dr. Feelgood, who has been doing research on HIV in China for almost 10 years. We would like to ask you several questions today. First off, we would like to know how is the current HIV situation like in China?
Well, in 2007, we were looking at an estimate of 700 HIV-positive people living in China. While the numbers of people infected only account for a small portion of China's enormous populations, which is around 1.2 billion, the exact figure is extremely difficult to determine because of substantial underdiagnosis and reporting in rural areas due to lack of resources for thorough surveillance. Although the number of new HIV/AIDS cases reported has been constantly increasing in recent years, the HIV/AIDS situation in China is not necessarily getting worse. Perhaps the increase may be due to better awareness and more screening tests.
What are the forms of transmissions?
The main form of transmissions are injected drug users, blood donation, heterosexual transmission, homosexual transmission, mother-to-infant transmission, For those people that uses intravenous drugs, needle sharing, they consist of 25% of HIV in China. Unsafe blood donation accounts for 9.4% of HIV. Heterosexual transmission accounts for 8.4%, while homosexual transmission comprises of just 0.2%. Mother-to-infant transmission makes up of 0.3%, though this rate is expected to increase since the number of female infection is on the rise. Majority of China HIV infections are primarily located in Yunnan province, Zhejiang region, and Guangxi Zhang.
We would like to know, what is the age group that is most infected by HIV?
Well, the largest portion of people infected with HIV falls within the age group of 15 to 29 years of age, representing 60% of total HIV population in China. The age group of 30 to 39 years of age represented the second largest portion of those living with HIV in China.
I'm now here with Dr. Feelgood's longest patient, some young guy who's going to talk to us about the situation of AIDS in China from the first-hand perspective.
The availability of clinical services for people with AIDS was not adequate in the beginning of the HIV/AIDS crisis until finally in 2003, the Chinese government launched the program called CARES, China Comprehensive AIDS Responses. This program helped start community-based HIV treatment, care, and prevention measures. The program is managed by physicians, nurses, and laboratory personnel who are thoroughly trained in the clinical management of AIDS and HIV. This program is also free, if I might add, and provides free HIV testing, counseling, and antiretroviral treatment for people with AIDS. Under this policy, the government has also committed to providing farmers and impoverished people with free antiretroviral drugs, voluntary HIV testing, counseling, prevention of mother and child transmissions, schooling for AIDS-infected orphans, and health care for AIDS patients and their families. Hopefully, people will become more aware of HIV and AIDS in society.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important message.
Now for some short messages from our sponsors.
Hey bro,
What's up? How you doing? How's school?
it's good. I met someone special at school today, and we're thinking about taking it to the next level.
Oh, nice, nice. I got the perfect thing for you. Hey, with great power comes great responsibility.
Hot sex on a platter. Hot sex on a platter. What you say your name? Hot sex on a platter. Hot sex on a platter. Hot sex on a platter.
We are now returning to today's top story.